Hi, it's me again with Corel tips and tricks. Over the years, I've done a couple of these on like a bullet hole through a piece of metal, but never this way, and this might be the best way. So let's take an ellipse and hit P, put it in center page, which really doesn't matter in this case. Now, I'm going to use the freehand drawing tool, but I'm going to I normally set this on 100. If you set it on 100, when you draw with it, it's going to make cylindrical or equal shapes, and I don't want that. So I'm going to go back, and you could set it at 50, and I'm going to slide it maybe like to 37. Then start anywhere and draw a line kind of like this, and then go past it and just make different shapes. Now, you need to make sure the shapes are closed for this to work good. So we're going to start on the next one and kind of go from that node right there and just, maybe make this, and then you could make some jagged edges, but just make sure they kind of join at that node. And you could make this a little bit jagged, and you don't have to make them all jagged. You can make some of them turned like that, and you could have some of them that are maybe more square, just depending on how your artistic ability is. And there's probably a couple other ways you could do this as far as grouping these together and spinning them over, but that way some of them would be the same, so we don't want them the same. But you want to kind of start on that node, and you don't have to go to the inside first. You could go to the outside first and do things like that, but you need to go inside that circle and make sure you collect on that node. I'm going to start on the other side now, and so start with that node, and your hand movement doesn't really matter. I don't think I'm on that node, and I'm not. So I'm going to get my shape tool and put it up to that node. So just kind of watch when you're doing that. And so here I don't have a node there, but I'm going to put an intersection. And this will show your artistic ability if you have any or not, which I have very little or none. And just, kind of, I don't think it's totally important that you have to have, I don't think I hit that kind of a weird shape. Get your handle and move that like right there. And let's get back to the freehand pick tool. And I don't think you have to go right on there. So let's try one with not. As long as you close the shape you're drawing, I don't think you have to have perfect shapes. I'm going to have to redo that one. Apologize for the people that are watching. Get back to your shape tool and just, I'm going to delete that node, and then I can just join that shape right there. So they're like, those aren't touching. I'm going to go ahead and bring this line in. And this really is not what the video is about. It's just a different aspect you're going to do. I'm just going to draw one more big one. And I think I've got, well, that'll work. I think I got a mess up right here. You probably don't want that whoop-de-doo. I call that a whoop-de-doo. And I'm going to just delete those nodes, and then take this and maybe delete that node, and maybe just bring this one over. Now, we're going to set our nudge factor on pretty high. Let me nudge this out of the way. And I'm going to take my Smart Fill tool, set on any color. I'm going to go ahead and use that gray. I'm going to fill that in. That is what we're going to use later for the hole. Now, I'm actually going to take the circle away. I just grab the circle. Now, I'm going to put an outline around it just in case I have a leaker. And I'm going to grab maybe that same color, and I'm just going to fill these in. And so far, I have no leakers, which is good and amazing. Then, here's kind of you know what we're going to go ahead and do now? I'm going to take away the box since we know we don't have a leak. I'm going to go ahead and take away the outline by right-clicking the mouse. And I'm going to grab that one right there. Now I'm going to use the interactive fill tool, but you can't really, well, we're going to use it on all of them. So I'm going to go like that, and I'm going to put like a lighter gray on the outside, but I'm going to put a white in the center. That's going to kind of, to me, it's going to make it look like the shiny of the metal. And you could, bring this in a little bit, but see how it's at this angle. So when we use the attribute eyedropper and take a sample, it's going to be at that same angle, but we can very easily go back and change that angle. And that way we'll have at least the same color. So we're going to get the interactive fill tool now. And we're going to, that must not have done it to that one. Okay, so that's close enough, but we're going to take the interactive fill tool and grab on this one, and then see, just move this handle and maybe move your white up, move this handle, maybe move the white up, move this handle. And all I'm doing is making it going in the kind of like the same direction. And sometimes it does that. I don't really understand why it makes that look darker than the other ones were, but it kind of adds to it. So I'm just going to move this handle, maybe move this a little bit. See, it just becomes darker, but that's really no problem. You just want that white to, see, that one is the same because it's at the same angle. And once you get a hang of kind of doing this, it's really pretty easy. See, and now I'm going to move the whole thing over. And I don't know why it does that. So here, I'm just changing the angle. And some of them you could redo. Like we could redo this one. Bring that down and redo this one by bringing this down and then moving her. Whoop. Whenever you do that, just back up. And I'm going to call that good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this and go to the shadow tool, just the regular shadow tool, and you have presets. And I'm going to pick flat, top, right. And it does that. But now I can move this handle and make it, well, what I need to do is go here and go to the inside. I should have just left it like it was. And see, it kind of gives that shadow just that little bit of an edge. And it's going to hopefully make it look like a shadow in the metal. And because we've nudged the whole time, we could just nudge it back. And if you took some time, you could make it look a little better. Let's see, I'm going to use black, see what it looks like. Object, order, back a page. And see where the shadow kind of has an effect. And you could play around, with this color and, maybe make it a little lighter. And then you kind of see the shadow more. But it's a pretty cool effect. If they all look like this, it would be better. You could, you still haven't finished it, and you can always take the interactive fill tool and completely change this one. Take this up here. And it's because we copied the drawing. And you could do them individually, just, not even, using the attribute eyedropper. Trying just to see what happens when I turn it all the way around. And see, now I've lost. So what I can do is delete, well, I can't really delete that. Tell you what, I can move it over. I can left click, right click, and put it back. I deleted it. And well, we're going to do it right here. I'm going to fill it in with that gray with the Smart Fill tool. And then just get the interactive fill tool. And, the attribute eyedropper really helps in this case. But in this case, it might be easier to do some of them individually. See, to me, that just looks better. And then just right click and take away the outline and just, that happens a lot on the Smart Fill tool. The outline just stays here because we made a new object, and then just move that back. Pretty cool. Anyway, hope that gave you an idea or two, and thank you for watching.